Officials in Louisiana have made the first arrest following one of the state's largest jailbreaks. The state attorney general charging jail maintenance worker Sterling Williams with malfeasance of office and 10 counts of simple escape. That's one count for each of the inmates who got away last week. 6 escapees are still on the run. The AG saying that Williams turned off the water in the cell where the inmates opened a hole, which allowed them to reach a loading dock door. Video shows them running out of that door and then getting away. The Attorney General also alleges that Williams failed to immediately alert officials after an inmate allegedly ordered him to shut the water off. CNN's Rafael Romo joins us now with the latest. And Rafael, according to court documents, Williams says that he was threatened. They said that they would stab him if he didn't shut the water off.
Yeah, that's right. That appears to be the case based on a legal document we have reviewed in the last hour, Boris, a document that may spell out the reason why the man accused of helping the inmates escape might have done so. CNN has obtained a copy of Sterling Williams' affidavit for arrest warrant, where investigators say that the 33-year-old willfully and maliciously assisted with the escape of the 10 inmates. But there's another important detail that might explain his motive. The affidavit says in part that during a Mirandized interview with Williams, he explained to agents that he turned the water off from the outside pipe walk area under direction of an inmate who threatened to, quote, shank him if he did not turn the water off. That inmate was one of the inmates who escaped the OPSO Correctional Center. According to Louisiana Attorney General Liz Muriel, Williams was employed as a maintenance worker at the sheriff's office. Attorney General Muriel also said in a statement that Williams admitted to agents that one of the escapees advised them to turn the water off in the cell where the inmates escaped from. Instead of reporting the inmate, this statement says, Williams turned the water off as directed, allowing the inmates to carry out their scheme to successfully escape. Earlier today, Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson said the investigation into the jailbreak is active and ongoing, adding that she takes full accountability for this failure.
There were procedural failures and missed notifications. But there were also intentional wrongdoings. This was a coordinated effort aided by individuals inside our own agency who made the choice to break the law. One arrest has been made, and we are continuing to pursue everyone involved, and that investigation is active and ongoing.
And Boris, the arrest of the Parish Sheriff's Office employee comes after a 4th inmate who escaped from the jail Friday was captured on Monday in the New Orleans East neighborhood. Now back to you.
So what's your reaction to this employee shutting off the water in the area where the inmates escaped? I mean, they claim, this employee, that one of the inmates threatened to stab them if they didn't go through with this.
Well, that's true. It could have happened. But at this point, we have to look at the totality of the escape and everything else that took place, correct? This was a planned out event. It was a well orchestrated event. So this definitely wasn't one individual turning off the water. It's going to be a very, detailed investigation that's going to have to take place, a lot of interviews. And when we do apprehend these individuals, heavy charges are going to be brought about. And that's how we're going to be able to extract additional information who assisted them.
And in this case, if you have this former worker now saying that they were threatened, what is the proper protocol for them going to authorities and saying, hey, I've received this threat? I mean, what should he have done if this bears to be true, what is being alleged?
He should immediately, notify his supervisors, or if they have an intelligence unit that's based there, then they would have brought about some sort of either punitive or segregation, for the individuals that were threatening him. But the fact that he reacted in that manner, he definitely violated protocol. He violated penal law because he basically assisted in the escape one way or the other, even though it was under duress. Duress is an affirmative defense. He could try that later on in a trial. But the fact that he did assist, he's got a lot of answering to do for his actions.
Obviously, there are 6 inmates that are still on the run. What do you think the likelihood is that they're still in the immediate area of New Orleans or potentially of the state of Louisiana?
You know, it all depends with their community connections. At one time, you know, their family members who's close by. But remember, anyone that's actually helping them is aiding and abetting, which they're also contributing, you know, to both the escape and to a criminal act. They could be prosecuted. It's going to go down to, you know, once again, what we do is what? We set up perimeters. Then we go from there. We do our intelligence gathering. We start tapping phones. We start looking at associates, family members, and that's how we end up, you know, catching most of these individuals. There's only so far they could run without assistance. They're gonna need money unless, you know, they had additional resources that they have planned before. You know, it's kind of hard to run.
Former Sergeant Felipe Rodriguez, thanks so much for joining us.